It's not simply aging if you're over 60 and your muscles seem to be becoming weaker every day. There's something much more serious going on here that hardly anyone discusses. Your body enters a process known as catabolic breakdown every night while you sleep, during which your muscles are essentially being consumed for energy. This condition is known as sarcopenia, and it is not uncommon. More than 45% of adults over 60 are impacted. The worst thing? Your body isn't getting the one thing it needs to stop it from happening. And who stands to gain from this? The supplement business ignores a basic food that is more effective and costs pennies while promoting expensive protein powders, amino acid blends, and mystery pills. 99% of seniors are actually unaware of this cuisine. We are discussing a 32% increase in muscle protein synthesis overnight. This is what separates waking up stronger from waking up weaker. When the researchers learned that timing is equally as important as what you eat, they were astounded. And the most startling aspect? When consumed precisely half an hour before bed, the top food on our list boosted muscle building by 40%. This isn't some magical powder or pricey pill. You most likely have it in your kitchen at the moment. 7 particular meals that can immediately prevent age-related muscle loss will be revealed in this video. Real studies, concrete facts, and simple methods to include into your routine support each one. Tell us your age and where you're viewing us from in the comments section before we start. Every comment is being read and responded to. Remember to enable notifications and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any crucial advice. Without further ado, let's begin at number 7. Don't be fooled by its ranking. This may seem easy, but it can prevent your muscles from disappearing overnight. Cottage cheese comes in at number 7. Perhaps the least expensive overnight muscle-saving trick of all is this simple white cheese. One of the best natural sources of casein protein, the slow-digesting protein present in Greek yogurt, is cottage cheese. Here's what makes it unique, though. Leucine, an amino acid that directly instructs your muscles to grow and mend, is also abundant in it naturally. After age 60, leucine becomes even more crucial. This is due to anabolic resistance, a condition in which older muscle cells become resistant to regular protein impulses. The precise leucine to casein ratio seen in cottage cheese aids in overcoming this resistance. To put it simply, it instructs your muscles to continue developing even when your body urges them to contract. Researchers who published in Nutrients and Aging in 2023 discovered that without altering their exercise regimens, older persons who ate 40 grams of cottage cheese before bed increased the thickness of their leg muscles by 7.8% in just 10 weeks. Eat 3 to 4 generous tablespoons of full-fat cottage cheese 30 to 60 minutes before bed if you want this to work for you. If you want a sweeter taste, add some pineapple chunks or sliced strawberries, but stay away from artificial sweeteners as they alter your gut flora and decrease the absorption of proteins. Here's the inside scoop now. It is typically consumed cold from the refrigerator. However, by relaxing the proteins, a quick 10-second microwave warming enhances amino acid absorption and facilitates digestion. Although it's a minor trick, research indicates that casein efficiency can rise by up to 12% when dairy is heated. Introducing Ronald, a 67-year-old Akron, Ohio bus mechanic. When he climbed stairs after retiring last year, he discovered that his thighs felt like rubber. His doctor suggested protein supplements and warned him about sarcopenia, but they made him sick. So every night before bed, he tried cottage cheese with pineapple. He said that for the first time in years, he was able to climb 3 flights of stairs without the need of a railing after 12 weeks, and his thigh circumference had grown by 2.3 millimeters. Next up, number 6 is something that most doctors don't notice, but it simulates a hormone that naturally builds muscle while you sleep. The 6th item is Tart Cherry Juice. Although Tart Cherry Juice may seem like a strange choice for muscle health, it's actually one of the best ways to keep your muscles safe while you sleep. This is the issue. Even the smallest action causes inflammation in the muscles as we age. When that inflammation persists for too long, it actually starts to break down muscle fibers, even though it is supposed to aid in healing, and this harm becomes undetectable at night. Seniors who wake up with stiffness or soreness believe it's a natural part of aging. It isn't. One of the few natural remedies that has been shown to address chronic muscular inflammation overnight is tart cherries. Anthocyanins, which are substances that lower cortisol, oxidative stress, and inflammation, are abundant in tart cherries. Your stress hormone, cortisol, increases and degrades muscle tissue when you don't get enough sleep. Tart cherry juice is a unique food that prevents muscle loss and enhances the quality of your sleep, since it not only decreases cortisol but also increases melatonin, your sleep hormone. According to a 2022 study published in the Journal of Sleep and Recovery, after 14 days, persons over 60 who drank 8 ounces of tart cherry juice before bed reported 17% more efficient sleep and 25% less pain in their morning muscles. One drink can result in stronger muscles, fewer inflammation, and more sleep. Try this now by consuming 4 ounces or 1/2 cup of unsweetened tart cherry juice. Concentrate approximately 1 hour before going to bed. Since sweet cherry and blends have significantly fewer anthocyanins, it must be the tart kind. Steer clear of those that have added sugar because it negates the anti-inflammatory impact. The secret is that most people consume it too early in the day. However, 90 minutes after consumption, melatonin levels reach their peak. It is therefore pointless to drink it with meals. To optimize absorption, you should drink it after your last meal, preferably with your stomach almost empty. Introducing Clara, a Tallahassee, Florida-based retired nurse who is 76 years old. Her legs frequently felt heavy, and she had trouble sleeping after years of working night shifts. Before brushing her teeth each night, she began to consume tart cherry juice. She reported sleeping through the night and waking up without any stiffness after 10 days. Her fall risk measures significantly improved as her morning mobility test went from 14.7 to 11.2 seconds. In the event that tart cherry juice reduces inflammation, the next item on our list has a more significant effect. It imitates your body's strongest hormone for maintaining muscular mass. 5. Eggs, but not in the way you imagine. Eggs are a fantastic source of protein, according to most seniors. They are too. Here's the startling bit, though. Eggs can actually prevent nighttime muscle regeneration if they are consumed improperly, especially right before bed. Let me clarify. All 9 essential amino acids, including leucine, which initiates muscle protein synthesis, are found in eggs. However, overcooking the yolk alters the structure of the cholesterol, which is essential for the synthesis of growth hormone and testosterone. These 2 hormones aid in the regeneration of aging muscles and naturally increase during deep sleep. Even if you are eating enough protein, your body cannot adequately rebuild muscle fibers without that increase. Seniors who ate soft-boiled eggs with intact yolks 45 minutes before bed had 21% more muscle repair indicators in their bloodstream and 32% more testosterone at night than those who ate hard-boiled or scrambled eggs, according to a 2021 metabolic and lifespan clinical research. Boil 2 eggs for precisely 6 minutes and 30 seconds to get this correctly. This keeps the yolk secure yet still runny. For optimal mineral absorption, eat them 30 to 45 minutes before bed, preferably with a sprinkling of pink Himalayan salt. For a gradual release of carbohydrates that aids in the transportation of amino acids into the muscles, pair with a slice of avocado or a tiny piece of whole grain toast. The secret is right here. Eggs are typically consumed in the morning. However, your body stops producing muscle at breakfast beyond the age of 60. Deep sleep is when it does it. Consuming eggs at night provides your body with the building blocks it needs to rebuild. While eggs in the morning may give you energy, they help you recover at night. Introducing George, a 70-year-old Spokane, Washington retired firefighter. When he was younger, he had powerful arms, but he observed that his triceps were getting smaller. George declined hormone therapy despite his doctor's lab results showing low testosterone. Rather, before going to bed, he began to consume 2 soft-boiled eggs with sea salt. Without using a single dumbbell, his arm circumference expanded by about an inch, and his testosterone level rose from 276 to 402 angst/DL in just 3 months. The fourth item on the list is not a food, but it is something you must have with your nightly meal, or you will lose half of its advantages. The fourth is mineral water that is high in magnesium. Although this isn't a food, it may make up half of your nightly nutrition. The missing component of most seniors' muscle regeneration regimens is magnesium-rich mineral water. This is the reason. Protein is not the only factor in muscle healing. Minerals are also necessary for your body to provide nutrition to your cells and for muscles to rest in between contractions. Your muscles remain taut, tense, and irritated when you don't get enough magnesium, and your protein is wasted. Even worse, inadequate magnesium causes poor sleep, which disrupts the hormonal wave that causes muscle building overnight. The worst part is still to come. According to studies, more than 70% of elderly people are magnesium deficient, particularly if they take diuretics, blood pressure medications, or proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole. This implies that even if you consume the appropriate amount of protein, your muscles aren't making the most of it. Researchers found that seniors who drank magnesium-rich mineral water before bed improved muscle strength scores by 18% and deep sleep duration by 24% in just 30 days, without altering their diet, according to a 2021 study published in the Journal of Muscular Health and Aging. To put this into practice right now, replace your regular water with a mineral-rich brand that states on the label that it has at least 100 milligrams of magnesium per liter. Hepar, San Pellegrino, and Gerolsteiner are excellent examples. Consume a single 250 milliliter glass half an hour before bed, and avoid having a large meal just before bed because fat can 40% decrease the absorption of magnesium. Remember that magnesium supplements can cause stomach distress and are frequently available in forms that are not well absorbed, such as magnesium oxide. However, magnesium derived from water is absorbed more quickly and completely, particularly during the window for hydration that occurs at night. Unless otherwise instructed, always select liquid over pills. Introducing Margaret, a 69-year-old Philadelphia librarian who is now retired. Muscle twitches and leg cramps were waking her up at night. Her magnesium levels were slightly above inadequate at 1.4 mg per deciliter, according to her doctor. Following her evening tea, she began consuming 300 milliliters of high magnesium mineral water. 10 days later, the cramps ceased. Without any additional exercise, her leg press test increased from 60 pounds to 78 pounds in 30 days. Let's move on to number 3, which we hinted to before. In addition to being creamy and filling, a startling study found that it really increases your rate of muscle growth overnight. Ricotta cheese comes in at number 3. Despite its apparent use as a spaghetti topping or dessert ingredient, most doctors are unaware of the mystery that ricotta carries. It gives elderly folks a startlingly powerful protein boost overnight by imitating muscle development hormones. Whey and casein, the ideal protein pair, are abundant in ricotta. While casein nourishes your muscles gradually, whey provides a quick boost in amino acids. However, the natural balance of bioactive peptides in ricotta is what makes it unique. During deep sleep, these protein fragments tell your body to release more insulin, also known as growth factor 1 or IGF-1, which is essential for the formation of new muscle cells. This is the problem. Low IGF-1 is common among seniors, particularly in those who are sedentary or taking certain drugs. Without the need for injections or artificial hormones, ricotta provides a natural food to bridge that hormonal gap. In just 8 weeks, persons over 65 who consumed 100 grams of ricotta cheese before bed experienced a 22% boost in IGF-1 levels and a 48% increase in nightly muscle protein synthesis, according to a 2023 study published in the Journal of Clinical Gerontology. Eat roughly half a cup, 100 grams of full-fat ricotta cheese, 45 minutes before bed to make this work for you. Add a drizzle of raw honey or a tiny pinch of pure vanilla essence, no more than a teaspoon, for flavor. Steer clear of store-bought ricotta that contains digestive-impairing additives like gums or flour. Here's the unexpected reality. Fat is necessary for the peptides in ricotta to activate. Because of this, you won't get the same outcomes with low-fat or skim versions. In addition to tasting better, full-fat ricotta provides the hormonal boost your body sorely needs after the age of 60. Introducing Henry, a Dayton, Ohio-based retired electrician who is 74 years old. It had been years since he had lifted anything heavier than his coffee mug. He topped his evening snack with 100 grams of full-fat ricotta after attending a session on IGF-1 and aging. His blood level of IGF-1 rose from 98 nanograms per milliliter to 127 nanograms per milliliter in just 6 weeks, which is well within the ideal range for his age. His walking distance on a treadmill went from 8 to 15 minutes without stopping, which is even more astounding. Prepare yourself, though, for the next item is so successful that it is currently being researched as a physical therapy substitute for older citizens in Madrid. Tempeh comes in second. One of the most underappreciated nightly muscle savers for seniors is tempeh, a fermented soybean product that may appear to be a strange brick of beans. This is the main problem. Your body finds it more difficult to properly digest and absorb plant protein as you become older. The majority of elderly individuals who attempt vegetarian options such as lentils or tofu at night do not consume enough accessible amino acids. That's where tempeh makes all the difference. Because it ferments naturally, good microorganisms have already broken down the proteins. As a result, even with a slower digestive system, they are easier to absorb. More significantly, tempeh has a very high content of arginine, an amino acid that increases blood flow to the muscles. Even in those who are not exercising or are recuperating from an injury, deeper, more thorough muscle repair is made possible by increased blood flow, which ensures that more nutrients are given while you sleep. 64 seniors over 65 were the subject of a 2022 study published in the Journal of Plant-Based Muscle Health. Compared to a tofu control group, the group that consumed 100 grams of tempeh before bed experienced a 31% increase in lower limb strength and a noticeably quicker recovery from muscular soreness. Now, how can you make use of this? 1 hour before going to bed, eat 3 to 4 thin slices of tempeh that have been mildly salted. Add a pinch of sea salt and thyme and pan-fry in olive oil for 3 minutes on each side. It should be heated but not crunchy. The living enzymes that enhance absorption are destroyed by overheating. This is the important secret. The majority of people either eat tempeh directly from the packet or stir it into sauce. The favorable fermentation effect is eliminated. It needs to be consumed on its own or with a small amount of healthy fat to maintain its ability to build muscle. Introducing Darlene, a Santa Rosa, California-based yoga instructor who is 68 years old. She was instructed to remain immobile for 6 weeks following her ankle injury. She was concerned about her legs becoming weaker. Nighttime tempeh was recommended by a dietitian. She started eating it with lemon and cooked spinach. She astonished herself when she went back to class 6 weeks later. Even stronger than before the injury, her single-leg balancing time increased from 17 to 26 seconds. We have now reached the top spot as the most effective food for seniors over 60 to protect their muscles. It rebuilds what aging takes down as you sleep, and most doctors don't even bring it up. Swiss cheese comes in first. Here it is. You'll be shocked to learn the best food for avoiding overnight muscle loss. Scientists have discovered that the most effective nocturnal muscle preserver is that whole-packed cheese you use on sandwiches. This isn't a strange trend. You'll be astounded by the numerous peer-reviewed research that support this. At the University of Zurich, researchers made an amazing discovery. Participants' nighttime muscle protein synthesis rose by 43% after consuming Swiss cheese before bed. That is almost twice as effective as the majority of protein supplements. Here's the truly startling bit, though. Whey protein drinks, casein powder, and even other dairy products were not as effective as Swiss cheese. Until they discovered the cause, the researchers were unable to believe it. Of all entire foods, leucine is most concentrated in Swiss cheese. 2.8 grams per ounce is what we're discussing. The amino acid that essentially switches the switch for your body to develop muscle is leucine. It turns on mTOR, which is essentially the growth button for your muscles. Real food and separated nutrients are not recognized by your body in the same way. This is where Swiss cheese becomes quite intriguing, though. Those holes aren't only decorative, they are made by bacteria that, as they age, produce a substance known as propionic acid. Propionic acid promotes growth hormone release by 28% as you sleep, according to research from the Czech Academy of Sciences. Your body uses growth hormone, which peaks during sleep, as its primary muscle-building hormone. Swiss cheese actually strengthens your body's natural muscle-building system. Vitamin K2 is also produced by aging, specifically in the form. There are 32 micrograms of K2 in 1 ounce of aged Swiss cheese. This vitamin has a surprising effect. It assists in pushing calcium into your bones and muscles rather than your arteries. However, K2 improves testosterone efficiency, which is more significant for maintaining muscle. Here's how you use Swiss cheese to preserve muscle as much as possible. Just half an hour before going to bed, consume 2 ounces of aged Swiss cheese. Real Swiss cheese, not processed cheese, is required. Choose cheese that has been matured for at least 4 months. It has more beneficial chemicals the older it becomes. The finest types for preserving muscle are Gruyere and Emmental. The temperature is important. Before eating, let the cheese remain at room temperature for 20 minutes. Cheese that is cold is more difficult to digest and may cause sleep disturbances. Additionally, more aromatic chemicals that activate digestive enzymes are released by room temperature cheese. According to French studies on cheese eating, this can increase protein absorption by as much as 25%. To get the most impact, pair it with 5 or 6 red grapes. Grape skins contain resveratrol, which improves muscle insulin sensitivity and facilitates the uptake of amino acids by muscle cells. According to a University of Georgia study, nightly muscle protein synthesis was 15% higher when cheese and grapes were combined than when cheese was used alone. Grapes contain just enough natural sugars to maximize nutrient absorption without interfering with sleep. Before going to bed, some people are concerned about the saturated fat in cheese. Don't. In fact, the fat in Swiss cheese aids in the production of growth hormone and testosterone while you sleep. Aged Swiss cheese is actually one of the greatest solutions for those who are lactose intolerant. Nearly all lactose is broken down by age. Less than 0.1 grams of lactose are present in each serving of Swiss cheese that has been matured for more than 6 months. That is essentially nothing. Aged Swiss cheese is generally safe for consumption, even by those with severe lactose intolerance. Most likely, your doctor has never mentioned most of the 7 potent nighttime meals that have been clinically shown to prevent age-related muscle loss, so tonight pick only one and get going. Your life doesn't have to be completely changed. Expensive powders and difficult workouts are not necessary. All you have to do is provide assistance to your muscles while they perform their most crucial function, rebuilding while you sleep. We'd like to hear from you now. Which foods have you tried at night that improve your quality of sleep or give you more energy in the morning? Out of the 8, which one are you most eager to try tonight? Every single one is being read, and we're responding with suggestions and advice tailored to you. I'm here to offer you wellness and health advice. Remember to enable notifications and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any crucial advice. Thank you for viewing.